Hello, my name is Sandy Adomaitis, the social media director for the Page International Screenwriting Awards, and your host for the Writers Hangout, a podcast that celebrates the many stages of writing, from inspiration to the first draft, revising, getting a project made, and everything in between. We'll talk to the best and the brightest in the entertainment industry and create a space where you can hang out, learn from the pros, and have fun.
According to me, we're rolling.
Are you sure, Terry? Because this is our second take.
It's so sad. I feel horrible.
Hi, I'm Sandy Adomaitis.
Hi, I'm Terry Sampson.
How are you, Terry?
So much better right this minute than I was about 10 minutes ago.
That's good.
We had a little problem here. We fixed it.
And on top of that, you had an interesting week.
Yeah.
And I know bits and pieces, and I'm dying to hear this story because writers, bookmark this, turn up the volume, listen very closely, because this could happen to you and you do not want this to happen to you.
It seems sort of easy to stay out of this problem, and yet it's, in a way, it's easy to get sucked into it.
Yes, you would think this is never going to happen to
me.
No way.
No. Well, I'm from a small town in the Michigan.
Yes.
Got a lot of lakes there.
Love the lakes.
Yep. And so I moved to an entertainment city. So that made me one of these people that people I know from there would come up to me and they'd ask me about things. How do I get into show business? Do I know Brad Pitt?
Very common. Yeah. Do you know Brad Pitt?
No, but okay. I'd like to have a dime for every girl who asks me that. The most often is that parents will say, I've got this amazing child.
Yes.
An actor. I get mostly music people. There's composers, writers, guitar players, keyboard players, whatever.
Right.
Songwriters. And they always want to know how their children can succeed with their talent. First thing I say is, you have my sincere condolences. Because show business is a horrible place to drag your kid into.
It's just tough.
It is. It's very hard.
Hard enough for an adult, but when you're looking at your precious, gorgeous, innocent 17-year-old who wants to get on the plane and get out here, it must be terrifying.
Yeah, and imagine, because especially if you were never musical, and all of a sudden you can't believe that this little baby is now playing the piano. You can't believe it.
Right.
It's just crazy. And so many other people's babies are playing the piano. That's the one.
It's the rub.
Yeah, it's the rub. When I'm asked this, I ask them, are they kind of all rock dressed up, everything, and they really want to get everybody's attention? Or if they're actively using these talents right now, like they write songs all the time.
Good point.
And they just are not going to stop doing it. And they won't. Right. Songwriters that love songwriting, even if they're on the other side of the earth, they're going to keep writing. Mm-hmm. They just like it. This is like any other writer, right? Mm-hmm. But I know that. And so I say to them, if your son or daughter will not stop doing this, then support them.
Great.
And do what you can and let them come out here and roll the dice and everything else. And I said, if they're really into writing, I'll buy them coffee and sit down with them. Come on out. I'll give you some things to think about.
Right.
But it's going to be
help them get in the door, an internship, advice, all that good stuff.
Yeah, whatever I can think of at the time that might help them. But it's tough. The rest of the world will not be kind. That's just what you can count on. You know, especially scammers who prey on people trying to get somewhere and don't know how it works. And this week, a writer who is a friend of a friend was contacted by a major entertainment exec and his plans for acquiring the rights to his writer's property. A big moment in anybody's life.
Your friend connected you with this writer who was being offered money for a project because they needed someone like you to guide them.
Yeah, or get him up to speed, really.
Okay.
Right. So he's telling me the story. I'm getting the information in pieces one after another because he's super excited. And I'm going, well, yeah, this is fantastic. So what they offer him, I consider to be life-changing money.
Wow.
Yes. And it also seemed to me that was actually something I heard the amount and I thought that should be what it is. And as he described the details, it seemed super legit to me. I was really excited about it until I wasn't. Because in talks of this nature, no matter who you are, what you've done, no matter what the circumstances are, you'll never have to pay anything to get this agreement going. And they wanted money.
Wow.
Not a lot of money, but it was a process that I would say they will come back to him every week from now on and say, we're going to need more money. So when he said that, I told him what I just said. And it was a really horrible moment. And I kept saying to him, I'm only 99% sure about this. I leave it open a little bit. You'll need to go back to them and say, I'll tell you what, the money at the end sure sounds great. I think maybe you should use some of that money to get what you need started. And I don't know if that's what he ended up saying, but that's what I told him to say. And best that he knows up front. And they might turn around and say otherwise, but I don't see, it doesn't make any sense.
Terry, I not only feel bad for this writer, I feel bad for you because you had to pop the balloon of his dream. That would really make me feel bad that if I had to do that.
Well, let him temporarily be annoyed with me.
Yes. When you had to let him down that this was a scam, I know you were saying to him 99%.
Yeah.
You were really 100% sure that this is a scam. Yeah. Was there quiet on the line? Did he fight you on it?
No, he did what all males would do and say, they seemed legitimate to me when I'm talking to him on the phone and that kind of thing. And we figured out a thing that he could say to test.
Oh, good.
I haven't spoken to him since then. I'm sure that he's adjusting. Yeah, he's adjusting to it. And everybody that's listening, the key thing is you really never have to put up money to any production company or streaming service or network or anything whenever you have an idea that they like. I know it sounds super simple, but in the excitement of getting something going, kind of like if they said, well, we can do this, but you need to bring everybody a coffee. You go, okay. You wouldn't even question it, sort of.
Exactly. It's just heartbreaking. You would think there's so many other ways to scam human beings.
Yeah. Do
you have to go to the creative person that has been struggling nights writing, raising a family? I'm sorry, you didn't even say if this person has a family.
Right.
But I'm just assuming raising a family, working hard, going to their day job, and you just want to take money out of their pocket?
Yeah. It's tough for artistic people. Here's what I told this person. I said, picture your songs or scripts, novels or artwork, whatever you create. Picture it in a store. It's your store.
Yes.
The Terry Sampson store in this case. I've got a song over here. There's a script over there. And that's not really artwork, but let's say it is.
Is there any bargain bins? just
everything checking. At some point, everything must go. So there will be bargain bins.
Okay.
And let's say you sent out a flyer, right? You just gave them out and somebody responds and they enter the store and they see the painting you've created and they say, you know what? I love this. And then you say, that's great. And they say, I'm going to hang this and the public is going to love it. And I think it's worth $100, Terry, $100. And I will pay you this, but you need to give me $10 now. And in 21 days, you'll get the $100. And in the meanwhile, I'm going to find a top 10 art museum to hang it in.
Yes.
You know something's wrong there.
Yes.
And you're never going to see the $10.
Right.
Or your painting, probably, if he walks out with it.
There's some odd belief because you're an artist, money shouldn't matter to you in any way, shape, or form. You're an artist. You're a writer. You're a painter. You don't want money.
Eat a painting if you're hungry.
Exactly.
Come on.
You should just give it away. I love what you have done. Give it to me for free.
I love it. I'll keep loving it.
Coincidentally, I read an article today where Eddie Redmayne, you know the famous actor?
Yes, of course.
His email got hacked, and everybody in his contacts got sent a message saying, I'm really in a difficult period of my life, or I'm really going through it right now.
Eddie.
Can you send me some money? Eddie Redmayne.
Oh, no.
Guess what? Warren Beatty responded.
Warren Beatty.
Yes, and said, what do you need?
What? Wow.
What a mensch Warren Beatty is.
Is there any way we can use this thing and make Warren Beatty listen to the podcast? Is there a side of this we can jump on?
Can we send out emails saying you have to listen
Yes.
to the Writers Hangout?
Yes, or a tree dies somewhere.
Also, to bring it back to the everyday people, I used to help take care of an elderly neighbor. Her name was Jimmy. I loved her. She was great. I came home to find out that her and another elderly woman in the complex had quite the adventure. Jimmy got a phone call saying, "Hi, it's your nephew." And of course she said, "Larry." And they said, "Yeah, it's your nephew, Larry. And I'm in Mexico and I'm in trouble. I'm in jail. I need your help." So she said, "Of course, how much do you need?" Went and found Joni because Joni still drove. And they went to CVS to do the whole telegram. What is that thing when you send money?
You wire money.
Wire money.
Yeah.
Thank God they walked into a CVS and nobody could help them. Well, because nobody helps you in a CVS, and they didn't know how to use the machine, so they came home.
I didn't know there was a wire machine. They should have this at Starbucks because between the coffee wiring you up, they should be able to send your money. It's a whole caffeine bonanza.
Exactly. And they'll call it the Wired Cafe.
The Wired Cafe. Why aren't we millionaires? I just don't get it. With these hot ideas, it's a shame.
Well, if you give me $50, I will make it happen.
I will make you $1 million.
Exactly.
I'm going to need the 50 though.
But
pronto.
I need the 50 now. So anyways, this has been around forever. Mm-hmm. I'm going to confess, I actually fell for a little bit, the IRS scam. They call you up and they say, basically, "We've been trying to contact you for over 6 months. We even sent an IRS agent to your door. You're in trouble." And I was paying off a tax bill.
Oh, okay.
So
you were freaking out.
I was freaking out.
Yeah.
And was just them trying to get me. They're basically saying, if you pay 15, as soon as they said the money thing, then I knew.
Right.
But up to then, I was getting scared.
Yeah.
It was like, if you just wire us 15,000 right now, like I was going to have 15,000, this will all go away. Have you had any scams now that you?
No, but the family has come to an agreement that if any of us calls from Mexico, we have to say the word rutabaga or it doesn't count.
I love that. It's not a bad idea, actually, to have a word like that. So, Terry, I would love it. Do you think we can get a follow-up with your friend in the next couple weeks, just so we can let the writers out there know?
Yeah, there was that awkward conversation part of it. And I said, gee, I don't know where we can go from this, except that you got an ample opportunity to test the waters. So I said, let me know. And I said, especially call me right away if I'm wrong. And I know I'm not. But I want to be.
One of the red flags was the life-changing money that they dangled up front.
Right.
Nowadays, I don't know, maybe back in the 80s, life-changing money was thrown around willy-nilly. It's tough right now. The market is really, really tough, especially I was listening to a report on the radio, an HBO executive was saying, before the strike, there were like 600 television shows out there.
Yeah.
He says, there is, cut that in half and then cut it again. And the entities aren't buying quite as much right now.
I'm telling you, no one who is in a crew working on a show prior to the strike had any idea that they would not be working now. There's a lot of people not working.
Everybody thought we're going right back to work.
Of course.
Yes.
And it is not starting up like it should.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Cue the horns. Was that a text?
Yes, it was. I'm sorry about that, guys. I have to tell you about this text.
Okay.
Because you're going to get this text.
I'm getting it?
Yes, you will.
Okay.
It might not be these words. We have a storm coming. So I'm hearing from the East Coast. This is from a text from my friend Bob.
Hey, Bob.
He's such a great guy. You safe? We're just laughing because whenever there's an earthquake or whenever there's rain, and it does get really bad here when it rains.
It can.
Our wonderful family and friends reach out to us.
Yeah.
And text us, are you safe?
And we say the same thing as send us money. We're at the edge of our lives right now. And that's a wrap for the Writers Hangout. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Your positive feedback will help us keep the show going so we can continue bringing you more future episodes. Remember, keep writing. The world needs your stories. The Writers Hangout is sponsored by the Page International Screenwriting Awards with executive producer Kristin Overn, producers Sandy Adomaitis, and myself, Terry Sampson. And our music is composed by Ethan Stoller.